Ecclesiasticus chapter 38, or Sirach chapter 38. This chapter has to do with righteous working men, specifically men with trades. Men that, if need be, they can make income by the work of their hands, whether that be farmers, herdsmen, plumbers, electricians. And also in this chapter is going to be talking about physicians. Now, when the Most High talks about physicians, he's talking about holistic physicians, meaning physicians that get their medicine from the earth rather than using man-made drugs. That's called pharmakia, because Babylonian physicians are the evil ones, the ones that prescribe you medicine in the form of a man-made drug that gives you like 8 different side effects to cure one thing, and it barely even cures you. And that's wicked. Why do you think the international symbol for hospitals and medicine is some kind of cross with 2 snakes wrapped around it? That should let you know what that means. Chapter 38. Honor a physician with the honor due unto him, for the uses which ye may have of him, for I hath created him. For the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king. The skill of the physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of great men he shall be in admiration. I hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. Let me say that one more time, because that's probably the most important verse in this whole chapter. I hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. Was not the water made sweet with wood, that the virtue thereof might be known? And he hath given men skill, that he might be honored in his marvelous works. With such doth he heal men, and taketh away their pains. Of such doth the apothecary make a confection, and of his works there is no end. And from him is peace all over the earth. My son, in thy sickness be not negligent, but pray unto I and he will make thee whole. Leave off from sin, and order thine hands aright, and cleanse thy heart from all wickedness. Give a sweet savor and a memorial of fine flour, and make a fat offering as not being. Then give place to the physician, for I hath created him. Let him not go from thee, for thou hast need of him. There is a time when in their hands there is a good success, for they shall also pray unto I that he would prosper, that which they give for ease and remedy to prolong life. He that sinneth before his Maker, let him fall into the hand of the physician. My son, let tears fall down over the dead, and begin to lament, as if thou hadst suffered great harm thyself. And then cover his body according to the custom, and neglect not his burial. Weep bitterly, and make great moan, and use lamentation, as he is worthy, and that a day or 2, lest thou be evil spoken of, and then comfort thyself for thy heaviness. For of heaviness cometh death, and the heaviness of the heart breaketh strength. In affliction also sorrow remaineth, and the life of the poor is the curse of the heart. Take no heaviness to heart, drive it away, and remember the last end. Forget it not, for there is no turning again. Thou shalt not do him good, but hurt thyself. Remember my judgment, for thine also shall be so, yesterday for me, and today for thee. When the dead is at rest, let his remembrance rest, and be comforted for him, when his spirit is departed from him. The wisdom of a learned man cometh by opportunity of leisure, and he that hath little business shall become wise. Now this is another important verse in this chapter, verse 24. The wisdom, I'm going to say this again and then I'm going to explain it. The wisdom of a learned man cometh by opportunity of leisure, and he that hath little business shall become wise. So basically, the Babylonian system that we're under right now, it hardly gives us any time to rest. We're always on the move. We're always working a 9 to 5. After that, we got to come home. If you got children, you got to tend to them. And basically, there's hardly any time for I am, let alone for obtaining wisdom. And I kind of see why the Most High isn't with men now as he was back in biblical times, because there's just no time in a man's life to come to I am with all sincerity and truth for a long period of time. I mean, the most we could give I am is probably at most an hour here, 30 minutes there. But for the most part, we're so caught up in this Babylonian system that it's just hardly impossible to obtain wisdom. So I'm going to repeat that one more time, and then we're going to continue. The wisdom of a learned man cometh by opportunity of leisure, and he that hath little business shall become wise. How can he get wisdom that holdeth the plow, and that glorieth in the goad, that driveth oxen, and is occupied in their labors, and whose talk is of bullocks? He giveth his mind to make furrows, and is diligent to give the kind fodder. So every carpenter and workmaster that laboreth night and day, and that they cut and grave seals, and are diligent to make great variety, and give themselves to counterfeit imagery, and watch to finish a work. The smith also sitting by the anvil, and considering the iron work. The vapor of the fire wasteth his flesh, and he fighteth with the heat of the furnace. The noise of the hammer and the anvil is ever in his ears, and his eyes look still upon the pattern of the thing that he maketh. He setteth his mind to finish his work, and watcheth to polish it perfectly. So does the potter sitting at his work, and turning the wheel about with his feet, who is always carefully set at his work, and maketh all the work by number. He fashioneth the clay with his arm, and boweth down his strength before his feet. He applieth himself to lend it over, and he is diligent to make clean the furnace. All these trust to their hands, and every one is wise in his work. Without these cannot a city be inhabited, and they shall not dwell where they will, nor go up and down. They shall not be sought for the public council, nor sit high in the congregation. They shall not sit on the judge's seat, nor understand the sentence of judgment. They cannot declare justice and judgment, and they shall not be found where parables are spoken. But they will maintain the state of the world, and all their desire is in the work of their craft. And with that, all praise to the power of the Son of Man, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I am that I am. And hopefully you guys got something out of that. I mean, that chapter speaks for itself. I mean, it lets you know that nowadays Babylon is just, it just has us so busy as a nation of people that I just hope that the Most High does not be slack in his judgment and finally coming to destroy this place, to create room for the New Jerusalem so we don't have to work anymore. We could finally be free, y'all. Like, we could finally be the kings that we were meant to be on this earth. You know what I'm saying? We will have servants and they could work for us. With that being said, all praise. Shalom.